Coming up next on PWR Feedback Friday, is WWE returning to an era of attitude? Who is the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame? What did you have to say in response to our broadcast last week? All the answers and more right now on Feedback Friday.
Welcome to Feedback Friday, folks, brought to you by the PWR Now Network, where you can get access to 8 great podcasts, including The Hotline with me and Gene Okerlund, PWR Reaction, Real Talk with Damian Nelson,
8?
the Double D podcast.
That's more than one a day.
And more on the PWR Now Network, which you can subscribe to at pwrshow.com. Folks, Damian Nelson here alongside David Harrow, and it's Feedback Friday, February 26, 2016. February's almost over, David. How has the month been for you?
It has been...
Celebratory?
Celebratory?
Yes.
Yeah, it always is.
I mean, it's supposed to be, celebrating history this month.
I've been celebrating lots of history this month.
Awesome, and thank you. Folks, let's get right down to it. This week's big story here on Feedback Friday. Huge news this past Monday night as WWE has announced the next entrant into the 2016 Hall of Fame class. And it is...
Kong Bundy.
Nope, not yet. This man has pimped his way.
Rick Rude.
He has pimped his way into the Hall of Fame. The Godfather is going into the Hall of Fame. Chris Wright.
You know what?
Papa Shango.
No, Charles Wright. You know what?
Did I say Chris Wright?
You know what's amazing about that?
What is amazing about
Godfather?
that? The Godfather.
The Godfather is one of the main reasons why Linda Kay is now working with the Pro Wrestling Report.
What?
It's a huge scoop.
What is around your neck?
Gene Okerlund, well...
Are you waiting for... What is this? What are you, Lieutenant Uhura?
I get my cues from...
Oh, for the love
from
of Christ,
truck.
I just don't understand how... We're on television, and you got this gimmick around your neck? What is this thing? Or are they paying us?
No, but this is how I know what's going on in the truck.
Linda, Godfather, PWR.
Well, now I can't tell the story because the truck just said we're out of time on that segment.
Let's get to the... Well, no, this guy, the Godfather. All right, so Sting is announced into the Hall of Fame. Godfather's joining him. A lot of people surprised that the Godfather is being put... I mean, the hoes, the pimps, being put in the Hall of Fame.
In a PG company, who would have thought?
You know, there's a lot of discussion, though, David, especially after the blockbuster Raw this past Monday night, of changes, at least going into WrestleMania, in the on-screen presentation of WWE programming, which could have been exemplified by the fact that Vince McMahon dropped an F-bomb on Raw this past Monday night. He didn't frick. He fracked. He did not... He shielded it all. He dropped an F-bomb. Vince McMahon, the CEO and chairman of WWE, dropped an F-bomb on television.
You know, I did that once at Blizzard Brawl because of you. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
But I don't know why you're dwelling on that, by the way.
Well, you know, I noticed Mr. Casa's not here this week.
No, he's not. But
I'm glad you finally, have a little more testicular fortitude.
Oh, no, I'm ready and willing and able to have someone take care of you. Sir? Come on in here, because I knew that, again, there's still some tension, there's still some hostility, and I have secured one Xavier Mustafa.
Jesus, you didn't go to the dollar store this time, did you?
To protect me from your ill will. So don't try anything. You thought Mr. Casa was small. Ha! Bigger, better.
So what you're saying is size does matter for you?
Of course.
Okay, I get it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Still very cowardly.
Back to the Hall of Fame. Back to the potential change in programming in WWE going into WrestleMania, and back to the F-bomb heard around the world this past Monday night on Raw from Vince McMahon.
There was a 7-second delay. You didn't really hear it, but Vince
everybody knew what he said.
I was shocked. I'm like, well, what are they bleeping out? And it's just like, I'll be damned. I'll be goddamned. I couldn't believe it.
Now, tomorrow night, you're going to be talking about... On primetime, you're going to be talking about the whole Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon histrionics, if you will.
Absolutely.
And
it's a big story that they will slowly teach you over the next 5 or 6 weeks.
And it's going to be an amazing ride. This is right up there with Bret Hart and Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels as far as the real drama.
Oh, there's heat
in this story. And I think it was exemplified by Vince's direction to Shane this past Monday night on Raw.
It was... I had goosebumps when Shane came out. When the music hit, I was like, wow. I mean, I never thought Shane McMahon would come back.
6-year absence.
It's a long time.
We're going to talk about that more so on Primetime tomorrow, but let's get back to it. Does this also correlate to the induction of the Godfather?
I don't think so.
Into the Hall of Fame? Because they're not inducting Papa Shango.
No. Oh, okay. Who would you rather induct?
I'm just saying, names matter to WWE.
A black magic voodoo doctor or a pimp?
Names matter to WWE. Remember when they were...
Here's why you can do the pimp. Because you have all the divas that don't get paydays at...
What are you calling them?
At WrestleMania. They can walk out with him.
Are you calling divas whores?
No, I'm not. They're part of the hoe train.
You just called them hoes.
What's the
difference between a hoe and a whore?
Well, one is a garden utensil. And the other one is it's a ghost. It's Halloweenish kind of thing.
Sting and The Godfather, a recent edition of the Hotline with Mean Gene Okerlund podcast on the PWR Now Network. Mean Gene gave his predicted class of 2016, and I believe The Godfather was actually one of the people he listed. But who else? Who else do you? Are those the monkeys in the truck?
No, it is, and we're going over it. We need to talk about.
Your distraction level is the highest I have ever seen it on this show.
It's not my fault.
How is it not your fault?
You have this monster over your shoulder.
Because I need protection.
Linda showing her new Kamala tattoos, and there's just all this stuff.
She showed you that too?
Yes. All that's missing was the crescent moon.
If there was a name to be announced next into the Hall of Fame, who do you think it would be? Or who would you make it be? Let's be the book this.
I mean, to be honest, I'm biased towards Bundy. I would love for
Bundy needs to be in.
I think Rick Rude should be in. But, I mean, it's going to be in Dallas, Texas. The rumors are rampant that the Freebirds.
Of the fabulous ones.
And they need to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, in Dallas, it was the Von Erichs and the Freebirds. It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys. It's like the Heroes versus the Nelsons. It's just that big of a feud.
We'll see what happens with the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm sure more announcements coming soon.
And Kevin Von Erich is going to be at WrestleMania.
He has made that clear.
Kevin Von Erich is the guy that inducts the Freebirds.
That makes sense. He's the last standing Von Erich, correct?
Dude.
That was part of the Von Erichs.
How rude.
Feedback Friday returns in just about 30 seconds right here at PWRshow.com with your comments on last week's shows and details on our special guest joining us tomorrow night on Primetime.
It's the biggest party event of WrestleMania weekend. WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash presents Shenanigans Dallas. Join Nash and friends including Billy Gunn, Mean Gene Okerlund, Al Snow, ODB, and more for a VIP party event Friday, April 1st. Party with the biggest stars of wrestling in downtown Dallas to kick off WrestleMania weekend. Don't miss Shenanigans Dallas, hosted by Kevin Nash. Tickets are available now at PWRshow.com. That's PWRshow.com.
Welcome back, fans, to the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday here exclusively at PWRshow.com. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. And last week on Feedback Friday, folks, we addressed the speculation that race played a role in the suspension of Titus O'Neil from WWE. Several of you had comments to share with us on YouTube. And here they go. Are you ready, David?
I can't.
You love this part of the show, don't you?
I do. This is great.
First comment comes from SN1281. That's the username on YouTube. And he says, and I quote, Dave may be right on this issue, but he will always do anything and everything to defend WWE, even if he knows they are wrong. It's business, but it's annoying. He's being accused again of being a WWE apologist.
Here's the thing. It is business. I understand the business they're doing, and just because the people, the fans, just because you read about it online doesn't mean you know. Maybe I've talked to people that know. Maybe I've talked to people that have been there. Race wasn't the factor. Do I apologize for the WWE? No. I explain maybe their point of view or how I see it. Just because you disagree doesn't mean, well, it means you're wrong first, but it just also means that I look at it from a completely different angle than they do.
What happened to your friends in the truck? Why aren't you, did they,
It's too confusing. Because
clearly it was.
They're talking in the left, Linda was talking in the right, you're here, and then, we have, I don't know who the hell
you're
that
flustered.
guy is. There's a lot going on today.
Thank you for that comment on YouTube.
I took these off so I could see straight. There's so much stuff
But can you still hear with them off? Jim Cornette said this about Titus O'Neil being released from WWE in February. He said, WWE celebrated Black History Month by making a black guy history.
You know what? And that's
joking.
Jim, and that's Jim Cornette. Yes, I mean he doesn't like WWE. He doesn't,
the evil empire. He calls it.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, again and again and again, they whitewashed Hulk Hogan from the company for racist remarks. Mm-hmm. The biggest star in the history of the business.
Right.
So, come on.
All right, thank you for that comment. Next comes from a user on YouTube by the name of Riot Starter B. What happened to Riot Starter A?
He probably got his account suspended.
Jesus, does everything have to be about race? Question. Totally ridiculous. The person agreeing basically with what was said.
If it's on social media, absolutely.
Next comes from a YouTube user by the name of The Real Black Poppy 1. And I quote, I like this one.
Of course you do.
It's an absolute travesty that Damian Nelson doesn't have a job with TNA, Ring of Honor, or even WWE for that matter. This guy is a great host, commentator, and speaker. His professionalism and preparation is evident. And then what else does that say? Take nothing away from... We don't read that part. Thank you for those comments. What? Oh, you better put your chest down. We're getting... I'm gonna need a bell or something.
Oh, that's not racial, is it?
Oh, is it racial? How is it racial?
Because you're summoning him or something.
Yeah,
this is the wrong month to be talking like that.
You know what, folks? If you want to see us address your comment on Feedback Friday, simply subscribe to the PWR channel right here on YouTube, and then comment on our videos. Each week we select the most thought-provoking comments and share them right here on Feedback Friday.
Conditions.
So be sure to subscribe now. And when we come back, folks, we share your comments on last week's Prime Time, and we've got a preview of tomorrow's Prime Time, where we have a tremendous guest joining us.
Hold on. I got to call Miss Betty.
Sweet and Sexy is back. PWR is coming to WrestleMania in Dallas, and you can join us in a private VIP suite for the biggest WrestleMania ever. Get tickets to the event, a seat in the suite, snacks, drinks, and more to create the best WrestleMania experience possible. Tickets are available now in limited quantities, only at PWRshow.com. Buy now and don't miss out on the WrestleMania suite experience with PWR.
Welcome back, fans, to the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero here on Friday, May 26th. And are you better now? Because I am. Well, I don't mean to be threatening. Lloyd's of London required me, per my insurance contract with them, to have a protection here on set with you when you're here. Because you seem to be under the impression that something was done wrong to you back in December at Blizzard Brawl.
It was.
I can't take responsibility for the actions of Abyss. It was me or you. And I looked out for number one.
You know what? I heard you invited him to the shenanigans party.
Abyss will be at the shenanigans party because, again, I need my own personal security.
Why would you do that?
I need my own personal...
Well, I got Nash and Al and Billy Gunn are going to be there.
That's great. Super. You going to stick them on me?
They're super friends.
I thought their membership to the Mighty Mouse Club was revoked.
Of course not. They're lifetime members.
Folks, last week on Primetime, we presented Be the Booker. And quite frankly, neither of us thought that Dean Ambrose had a chance of winning the match at Fastlane. Well, while we turned out to be right, many of you took issues with our comments about Dean Ambrose's size.
Go ahead.
I will try to go ahead here. Now, Dean Ambrose, of course, in the match at WrestleMania.
Let's get one thing straight.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Hold on. I like Dean Ambrose.
Well, let's see what
he's
the
done
comments
nothing.
say.
Yes, go ahead.
YouTube user by the name of Fringe Kid said, and I quote, "Why do people keep acting like Ambrose is puny? He's taller than Reigns. He's more fit than people act he is. He's more fit than people act he is."
I don't get that.
I don't get it.
How do you act that?
I don't know how you act, but saying he's bigger than Reigns and he's not puny is Ambrose.
He is tiny.
Ambrose is a very small performer.
He is... What's the word I'm looking for? He's a CrossFit dude in a pro wrestling world.
All right. As was John Morrison, as is Seth Rollins.
Right. And John Morrison isn't there anymore.
Right.
And Seth Rollins was the world champ.
He was.
And he's not there now.
He is not. He'll be back.
But Brock Lesnar's a beast.
The beast incarnate.
And being a wrestling promoter, okay, when I put together a poster or, send the graphic, I'm like, there's certain things you want to feature. You want to feature larger-than-life personalities. If you put Brock Lesnar on the poster opposing Dean Ambrose, which is what they're going to have at WrestleMania, it's like grabbing the Incredible Hulk doll next to C-3PO doll.
Or is he like the Coke can in the latest Incredible Hulk commercials? Dean Ambrose, Coke can, Hulk, Brock Lesnar?
Could be, yeah, absolutely. Ant-Man and Hulk. Or Loki versus Hulk. It's just...
Puny God.
You just want the audience to say, you know what, this guy might have a chance. And cosmetically, it doesn't look like Dean Ambrose would have a chance.
Nope. Next comment, which was a response to the previous comment, comes from KO310. That's KAYOH 310.
I don't get it.
And I quote, I don't get the Ambrose hate. They say they don't want to see Brock versus Dean, but I bet when CM Punk had his match against Brock, they loved it. They being us, David Hero. They have no idea what they want. I hope Ambrose wins so I can see these guys' reactions, even though everybody knows it's going to be Reigns. Well, this was obviously reference to the Fastlane matchup, saying we would have preferred, and we were excited about CM Punk taking on Brock Lesnar when he did. Or if it would have been CM Punk.
Well, first of all, when it was CM Punk and Brock, I think I said the same thing, puny God, didn't I?
Yeah, that's where it started.
Okay, so, yeah.
But remember, as Triple H said, CM Punk was skinny fat.
Well,
I don't think Dean Ambrose is skinny fat.
He's jacked, you know, but I mean, as Triple H would say, here's the thing. It's two completely different. I mean, there was a backstory with CM Punk and Brock Lesnar that you wanted to see.
And there was a belt on the championship on the line.
Right now, it's just Brock Lesnar wanting, you know, Dean Ambrose has been the annoying mosquito to Brock Lesnar.
It's also fair to say that I have been very vocal about my respect for Dean Ambrose as a performer, but my irritation by a lot of the vocal fans who think Ambrose.
You know what I think is funny?
What's that?
How whoever cherry picks these comments.
The interns. It used to be Cal, but for whatever reason he won't do it anymore.
He doesn't like you anymore.
That's really hurtful. Why would you say such a thing?
Because you hurt his daddy.
Our final comment, what I was going to say is, I am intrigued. We'll talk more about Ambrose Lesnar tomorrow on Primetime. Let's just do that, all right?
Okay.
Do you want to read the next one, David Hero? Do you watch Jimmy Kimmel?
No, you read. Yes.
Then you should read the next one.
Why? It's not a hateful tweet.
I'd love to hear your commentary throughout the comment from Gerald NG on YouTube.
Gerald Ng? Is this who we're talking about?
Yes. He could be Linda might know.
Okay, and obviously this is completely copy and pasted. Are you stupid hero with a not capital H?
At least it's spelled right.
You keep bashing the fans. Why do you find it so hard to criticize the E? Does that not piss you off that the WWE milks its stars at its convenience and tosses them aside when they see fit? Also, they have not given us a chance to get behind Barrett Titus. I guess they can't spell and K. So you can't blame the fans. What storylines have they been given that is worthy to give a damn about?
This is in reference to your DWHS last week.
But there's so much in there. You know what I mean? Okay. Wade Barrett was with NXT, right?
Part of the NXT. Invasion and
yes. Which was a
Nexus.
Big angle, wasn't it?
One of the biggest angles of the decade.
Why would the fans get behind him there?
They did. I think they did then.
Not behind Barrett. Wade Barrett becomes king of the ring. Fans didn't get behind him there. Titus O'Neil was a part of a tag team. Millions of dollars. No one got behind him there. So there have been opportunities. And as far as me defending the WWE or making fun of the fans, first of all, some of you fans are just ignorant. They're just stupid. They don't
We
understand.
apologize to all of you who are watching who are not ignorant.
No, I said some. I didn't say all.
That's why I had to clear it up with the rest.
Just because you have watched wrestling for 10, 15, 20, 30 years doesn't mean you understand the wrestling business.
You sure?
I'm positive. Okay?
Now, you promote and book wrestling shows, right? You have done so for how?
For 19 years.
19 years.
And I've been a fan for almost 40.
You've worked with the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock.
I have worked with the who's who. That doesn't mean I'm smarter or better. It means I have learned more. Do
you have access to certain information that you may not directly divulge?
Of course I do.
That might help you in the steering of your conversations?
I understand the business of professional wrestling.
Do you get everything? Did you know Shane was coming back?
I had no idea.
So there are things that we enjoy as fans, you enjoy as fans, just like the fans out there.
But as far as being an apologist, because I understand what they're trying to do and I try to explain it, doesn't mean I'm defending them. I'm saying, hey, look at it from this light or this angle and you might get it. Just because your favorite gets quote-unquote buried, even though they're on TV every week, doesn't mean they're getting buried. Invest in the guys you like.
You can hear more commentary like that, folks, at our website, pwrshow.com, where David continues with DWHS on a very regular basis at pwrshow.com. But thank you all for your comments, and we appreciate that interaction sure.
I want one more thing.
On YouTube.
The only fans I make fun of are the idiots. Okay? It's not the cool ones that get it. It's the ones that think they know better than Vince McMahon, that think they know how to book a program. Like I said earlier this week on Twitter, complain about creative all you want. I challenge anybody out there to write 6 months of TV for 4 shows a week, all at once. Figure out the timing of the match, how long the match goes, when the breaks are, everything. Try it once. You probably can't get through 2 weeks.
That's Feedback Friday, folks. Now let's go to Linda to tell us about what we're going to find out and hear about tomorrow on Primetime.
Don't miss the ROH 14th anniversary show tonight on Fight TV and pay-per-view, where Jay Lethal defends the ROH championship against Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Be a part of Feedback Friday by heading over to PWRshow.com and sending us your feedback or commenting on the stories on the site. Also be sure to interact with PWR on social media. Follow PWR Show on Twitter at PWR Show and on Facebook at facebook.com/PWR Show. We'll see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on Primetime TV with all the hot news from WWE, TNA, ROH, and NXT, along with DWHS and our special guest, Billy Gunn. Starting tonight, you'll be able to see PWR Primetime early on YouTube for the low cost of only 99 cents. Don't worry, it's still available at no charge at 10 p.m. Central, but for those of you who can't wait, you can catch PWR Primetime first thing in the morning on YouTube. We'll also have a huge announcement on the PWR March to Mania, culminating with a special edition of Primetime in Dallas. That's Primetime tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on My24 Milwaukee, YouTube, Fight TV, and PWRshow.com. We look forward to seeing you then.